Hey, hi, good afternoon. We are just waiting for people to join in. We'll be starting with string today, Hari. How many questions in journal? सर को पूछना पड़ेगा आदित्य अरुण सर को टोटल 15 है राइट आई गेस 10 तक लिखने बोलेंगे सर Hi, good afternoon. We're just waiting for people to join in. I know I was a bit late today. So we'll give them 2, 3 more minutes and then we'll start. So, any chance you have any idea when your exams are? Okay, 24th May it will be starting. Okay. So I think we are almost nearby to the end of the content, like the syllabus what we have planned. Most of the practicals are also there. Okay, so let's start. I'll start sharing my screen and let's talk about the string. I will also mention more. Okay, so I will show you what we are planning to do and start sharing my screen. Let me know once it is visible. Okay, so some part of this particular area of Unit 4 is remaining. We will talk about that. Last time when I was in college, we have completed arrays, right? We completed arrays, correct? We did array last time, right? Can anyone help me out here because I don't sort of remember. We did that offline session, right? We dealt with arrays there. Now, next thing we need to start is about. So, just as I was talking about here, this particular part, we are going to work with the wrapper class and the data types. It's a very small topic. I would be covering it up tomorrow, mostly tomorrow or the next session, whenever it is. But today, let's start about the concept of string. Now, string in Java is a very interesting topic. So here, I'll open my pen notes. Okay. So string. Now, have you ever worked with string before this? Have you been ever working with string before this? Like, got a chance working on string? Have you? Because in C++ it was not string, right? In C++, what you used to do was not. It used to be like char array, and we used to work around in that. So string in Java is basically the sequence of multiple characters. Yeah. It is a sequence of multiple characters forming a string together. Okay, it is a now. If you see, normally characters are used in Java in single quotes. For example, like this: A, B, C, and so on. Whereas on other hand, when you use a string, you make strings in double quotes. Now I told you, remember string in Java get special preferences like array. In last session we discussed about arrays, right? Array get the special treatment from your JVM. Same way, here your string also gets special treatment from your JVM. How have you like how do you declare an object? Can you in the chat window quickly tell me if I have an object of pen, how do I instantiate that object? Can you help me out with that? If I am an object of pen, I have a class pen and it has a default constructor. How do we instantiate the object of class pen? Can you help me out in the chat window? Anyone? Yeah, pen p is equal to new pen. Is there any other way you can do that? Is there any other way you can do that? Instantiation always happens using new keyword, right? But if you see when you want to declare a string, now remember one thing: string is a class in Java. String is a class in Java. Now, when you go through a class in Java, how does it looks like? We obviously it is in the package of java.lang, so it goes like this: java.lang dot string. Okay, java.lang dot string, and then the string have those objects. So normally I should be creating objects like this now, right? String s is equal to new string of something. Correct? We'll have to go by that way. But what happens here is you are actually allowed. to do something like this. String name is equal to Alex. Allowed. And the fun fact is string name is equal to new string of Alex is also allowed. We need to remember this. This sort of implementation is called as string literal. Okay. This sort of implementation is called as string literal. And this sort of implementation is actually called as this is called as a string object. There is difference in both. Yeah, there is a difference in both. So this is the difference we are trying to understand. And so, as I told you, are you understanding this factor here? That we have got literal and we have got an object. Now, both of them are important in their own way. And see, sometimes like when you create the literals, there is a different way of working. So for that reason, I have a blog of mine. I want us to go and check that out quickly. Okay, how does the working of a string looks like? So this is from my own blog. I will put this in the chat window. Can you quickly just read through this? Can you quickly just read through this blog I have shared with you now? See, how does the working of a string looks like? So according to Oracle, string in Java are sequence of characters and represented by the class java.lang.string. So in simple words, strings are objects. String in Java are objects. So declaration of string objects class looks like this. Public final class string extends object. So this is how the class of string looks like. String in Java are of nature immutable. Yeah, as they are declared of nature final. Because they are of nature final, they are considered to be an immutable, like you cannot go and make the changes. So string can be declared in multiple way. What are those multiple ways? String can be declared in a way like string str is equal to Java. In this case, str is a literal, as it is declared directly using the equal to symbol. While executing, JVM creates a string object and store it in the Java heap. So see how does it looks like. String s is equal to new string. Just 1 minute. Huh? Just give me 1 minute. One issue going on. I just need a minute. Okay. Yeah. So see, how do we go through string? So first, this is how we create an. There are multiple ways how we create string. First is what? Can you see here? What is the way we are doing here? We are doing it in a. Is this an object or a? Is this an object or does this look like a literal? The marked portion, does it look like an object or a literal? What do you think, sir? Anyone? Does this look like an object or does this look like a literal? This is an object. Now what is the next one? What I'm doing here is I have created an array, right? And that array is getting passed on to the string object. So this is also parameterized constructor. Yeah, this is also a parameterized constructor. But here what you need to understand is this is the normal way of creating an object. But when we create an object here, what we are doing is we are creating string str is equal to java, and uh, what we are doing here is we are taking java object, we say java with z dot in. So I am taking first, I this is this a object or is this a literal? This one, is this an object or is this a literal? The second part. Now this time it is actually a literal. Why? Because I have used the equal to symbol to create my object. So same time what happens exactly? Yeah, let me show you what exactly happens here when it comes to, yeah, when it comes to Java, as I told you, that objects that string in Java are given the very good preference over like the other objects. So what exactly happens here is we have got, see, there are two places where we store the objects. So the objects are stored. JVM allocates another location in the memory called a string heap. Yeah, we have got another location, you can see it here. We have got an object heap where we keep the objects which are created. So the literals, yeah, the literal goes here. And how does it looks like? See, for example, I have got string s is equal to code. So you know what will happen? First, this s will be pointing where? Code. Okay, then we do s is equal to s dot concat with z. Now what will happen first? See, this is also a new string. So first, it will create another string here called by what name? With z. And then there will be another concatenated one created, which will be what? Code with z. Now you need to understand what exactly is happening here. First, when it was pointing, then you said s is equal to s dot concat, so it will no longer point here. Then it will change. What will happen? Now it will start pointing to the new location. See, this S is now pointing at code with Z. And this is again a very famous interview question. Now, can you help me out with that? See, looking at this block of code, looking at this much block of code, yeah, looking at this block of code, can you tell me how many strings are created? They ask you a question in interview that look at this particular block and tell us how many strings are created. It's a very famous interview question for freshers actually. What do you think? So how many strings are created here? Anyone? Hey, hi, I am in a session. I'll call you back after 6. One second. Yeah, okay. Thank you. So you see, no, see, hurry. There is no one string created. If you see, you have to look at the heap. How many objects are created in the heap? See, we have got code. This is my one string. Yeah, I have created code. This is my first string. With z is the second string, and code with z is the third string. So this is how it works. This is how it works. Because of that, string is of nature final. And when I say string is of nature final, this is what actually runs behind the picture. Are you able to get this part? Are you able to get this part? Yeah. Okay. Now you understood the concept of heap. Now you tell me what will happen here. How many strings will be created? Okay. String S is equal to Hinduja. Then I say S dot concat college. And if I say system dot out dot println Hinduja college, sorry, system dot out dot println S, what will be the final output? What will be the final output that will be printed? Anyone? See, are you able to understand the code here? What I've tried? I have Hinduja, I have college, and then I say I want to merge it. What do you think so will be the final output? Okay, first question, two questions we have. First question is how many string objects or how many string literals are created? That is the first question. Second is what will be the output? What do you think so will be the output? Okay. So you think it is going to be Hinduja College. Okay, how many objects will be created? Meanwhile, you fix that. Let me okay, okay. I'm going to create a folder by name of string, and here I start my course. Okay, so here I simply create a new file and let me call it as string demo.java file. And in this Java file, uh, so here what I'm doing is class string demo, and in this class demo I create a main, and inside this see first thing string s is equal to Hinduja. Then I say system.out.println s. Then I say s dot concat space college, and now I say system.out.println s. What is the output we are expecting? What is the output we are expecting? We should expect that it should second time also, first time it should print what Hinduja, second time it should print Hinduja college, right? I'll say Java C string demo.java, Java space string demo. See, both the times, what is the output it is giving us? Both the situations, what is the output it is giving it to us? Hinduja and Hinduja. Whereas we have done the concatenation here, right? We have done the concatenation. Still, what do you think so can be the problem here? What do you think so can be the problem here? Anyone want to give it a try? Your answer is correct that there are three objects created, but why is it printing Hinduja instead of Hindu? Like it should be printing Hinduja college, right? Now let us open the object map again. What happens in the first instance? See, there were three strings created, right? First was Hinduja, second was college, and third was Hinduja college. Correct. What happened here? See, when I used it for the first time, it was pointing to Hinduja. Perfect. But when I did here, if you see the second line of code, have I changed its allocation here? Because it is not an object, it does not work inside the same object. The problem is this got created, this object also got created, but we have ever said that s is equal to, we didn't do that, s is equal to s dot concat. So what happened, it, the s object was still pointing to Hinduja and it never came back to Hinduja college. So if I make a very small change in my code, if I go back and if I say s is equal to, and then I make these changes, you will see the output has changed. Are you understanding what I have done here? Would you like to give this a try? I will open our code share quickly. Would you like to give this a try? Just take out that equal to and try it out and see whether it works same for us. Have you all opened your editors and everything? If you want, I can wait for 2 3 minutes, no problem. Yeah, let me know. You want me to share the code share link? Is it done? Please let me know once you're done. Huh? Okay. So if you just take out this equal to symbol and s, and you will see that how does that output changes. I hope that is okay for you. Everyone clear? Next, let's move on and see. This is what was happening there. So we were calling to the Java and it was not getting concatenated there. What do you think so will be the output here in this situation? If we copy this code, can you help me out guessing the output here? Can you help me out in guessing the outputs? First, what we are doing is we are taking str Java, which was in lowercase. So when it prints, what will be the output here? Will it be in uppercase? Will it be in lowercase? Based upon the code we are looking at right now, what do you think so? Will it be uppercase? Will it be lowercase? Okay, it should be in lowercase. Why? Because, and then I say Java space. See, this time is it still in lowercase? What is the line of code I'll have to update here so that this become uppercase? What is that line of code I'll have to make the changes here so that this become uppercase? Anyone? Can you help me out? Like, what is the line of code? If I do something like this, right? Str is equal to, and then it will update. Now see, now it has become in uppercase. So this is how it was working. Yeah. When the first line got executed, perfect. JVM created a new string object Java and str was pointing at the same object. Then we did str.to uppercase. This created a new object of value Java, but we haven't used any assignment, so it got lost. And hence it will keep on printing Java. Yeah. So this was nothing but the working of my string. You have seen this, right? I have given you the link in the chat window. This is the blog link for where you can find out that output, like how exactly we are working on the codes. I have one more for yeah. What is the difference between the string? See, this is the another one. So string declared using new and equal to have differences. Yeah. What happens here? There is a string constant pool. Inside your object heap, whenever you create an object using the new keyword, always a new object is created. But whatever you declare goes inside whatever you declare using equal to. So string literal always land up into where in an area called as string constant pool. If you want, you can open this other link, the last link what I've sent, and you can see how it is structured. So there is an object heap area, but in that object heap area, there are two areas. One is object heap, and then there is an another area called as string constant pool. When a string is declared using equal to symbol, it is considered to be a string literal. And when a string is declared using equal to symbol, it is stored in the something what we call a string constant pool rather than making the new object for memory management. So string constant pool looks something like this inside the object heap. Yeah, inside the object heap it looks like this. And if string is already there in the pool, the object will point to the location of the string which is already in the pool rather than making a new entry. Yeah. So consider a project name made for a company by the name Matrix Solution. Imagine how many times the single string will be used, and that will be continuously working here. So if I want to show it to you, yeah. Okay. Now this is also another question. Actually, let me check that out for you again. Uh, we have got string In Java code itself. I should be having here it in my object somewhere. No, not here. I created a video. I remember where we did this. Mm, inside my there is a very detailed video about this thing because we are not going to cover that in depth here, but that's something we have done strings in Java. Let me just show you that. Yeah, not I have not done that, but I have done a video on string functions, which will obviously be helping us out. I will show you give you that one for later part. I'll give it to you, but okay. So where were we? We are talking about the string constant pool. How does the string constant pool looks like? So string constant pool, it's a very interesting factor. And to be precise, let us add a new page. So as I said, one area is what we called as an object heap. There is one area what we called as an object heap. See, that object heap looks like this. Everything should be landing up here. This is my object heap. Whatever object you create will always land up in object heap. But inside this area, there is a special area which is called as string constant pool. Okay. Now this is very important. Just focus here. Huh? Let's say we are creating some strings. We are creating some strings. So string goes like this. String s1 is equal to Tom. Now this is an answer to a question why in Java strings are of nature final and why do they not create like why the objects are not updated by themselves. So here we have got string s1 is equal to Tom. What will happen the moment is this a literal or an object? Is this a literal or is it an object? S1 is it a literal or is it an object? And if it is anyone, is it a literal? Is it an object? Because see, I'll just spare you with that. See, this is a literal. So whenever you declare a string literal, it checks whether the same entry, exact same entry is the same entry available in the constant pool. No, right now my constant pool is empty. So what will I do? I will add Tom here and this s1 will start pointing up here. Okay, now I have got string s2 is equal to Alex. Is there any entry? First thing, this is a literal, right? So the entry will be made in the constant pool. It will create an entry for Alex. Then I have got Mike. So I have got Mike as well. I have got the entry. And then as there was no entry, I have to add in. So what is happening here? S1 was pointing here, correct? Then we created S5 is equal to Tom again. Now, is there an entry available? Is there an entry available in the constant pool by exact same thing? Yes, no. Try to understand the working of constant pool. It is very important. They ask you a lot of these things later on also, and you should have a knowledge about it. So, is there an entry by the same thing already available in the constant pool? Does the string constant pool already have it? Yes, right. So what will happen? It will not create a new entry. Now Tom will also start like S5 will start pointing there. So now they both are pointing there. Then let's say string S6 is equal to Tom. Where will this point now? Where will this point now? This will again go back and point to the same location. That will be what? S6. Then we have got S7 is equal to LX. So LX will actually go back and point up here. So now S2 and S7 are pointing there. Okay. Then string S8 is equal to John. Now what is happening? John is also pointing up here. So S4 and S8 are pointing there. Now S1 is equal to S1 dot concat. Now you tell me what will happen here. What should happen here? See, if it was not a final object, what would have happened? The same object would have been updated to what Tommy, right? But because it is all of nature final, see what exactly is going to happen. S1 will now no longer point to that location. Instead, a new entry will be created in my constant pool by the name of Tommy, and my S1 no longer pointing here. Now the S1 will start pointing up here. Are you understanding this? Because there can be so many different strings which are connected there. It will never ever actually make the changes to the existing one. That is why string is of nature final in Java. Now can you tell me, I have a trick question. String O1 is equal to new string of Tom. Where will this point to? Where will this point to? Where will O1 point to now? Can you tell me? It is also holding Tom. Can you tell me where exactly this will point? Anyone? This is an important one. Now, which location will O1 point to? Are you understanding? Have you understood the question? Can I get a quick thumbs up or something? So I'm just feeling disconnected, no messages for a long time. Am I audible? Okay. So you understanding where will this O1 point to? Where will this O1 point to? Will it point to the Tom in the constant pool? Yes, no? Yeah, what do you think so? Will O1 point to the string constant pool in? Okay, only one vote. You can use at least your poll in the chat window. Okay. See, this is important that what exactly we are trying to point out to here. So here we are pointing out to what the string constant pool, and for the string constant pool, you remember one thing: only the things which are declared using the question mark, only the things which are declared using the question mark will go into the constant pool. So when you create a new object of O1, it will actually create inside your object group an object of name Tom, and it will point up there. It will not create a new object at all. It will not create a new object at all. So it will not point to the constant pool. For pointing to the constant pool, it has to be created using the equal to symbol. Are we getting this? Are we all getting this? Okay. So what do we do next? We go and check the documentation for string. This is the place where we can check out the documentation. See, I think this is first time you are checking out the documentation for anything. Is this the first time you are checking the official documentation with me, right? We have not checked documentation before this, correct? Yeah, see. So docs.oracle.com have documentation for all the classes. Now you can just go and type whatever thing you wanted. And for example, now here what I have is I have a class string. Okay. The string class represents the character string. All string literals in Java programs such as ABC are implemented in instance of this class. Strings are constant and cannot be changed after they are created. String buffer supports the mutable string. So strings are immutable. We have got a helper class called a string buffer. Okay. So here there are more. There are a lot of constructors available. You see string, and then there was an array of characters which we used, right? You remember? So these are the list of the constructors. Then these are the functions, or these are the methods available in string which we are going to use now one by one. Okay, so let's start with this. So we have already covered the concat function here. Yeah, we have covered the concat. Concat does what? Take one string, compare it with other, and give it back to us. Okay. Now there is another function which is called as length function. Okay. So what will length do? It will give me, for example, I have the string Hinduja, right? So if I want int length is equal to s dot, there is a function called as length. And if I do system.out.print length of string is plus L, or if I can also say length of string s is L, and this has to be n equal to symbol, right? See, the length of string Hinduja college is how much? 3. Yeah, because the last concatenation was string, right? So it from 1 till the length. Now, the another important function, what we look out here, is called as equality. Now, for equality, there are two types of equality which are checked. Now, for that purpose, let me create two more strings. Now, equality in Java strings are very obvious. Now, let's say string s3 is equal to Tom. String s4 is equal to Tom, and string s5 is equal to Tom. Now, what happens here is system.out.println, if I say is s3 dot equals s4. Now, this is a case checks for exact same string, including cases. Okay. So if you see, I check for s3 with s4 and s3 with s5. Which one will be true and which one will be false? If I go by this logic, which one will it check? See, the first one is true. Why? Because it is checking s3 with s4. So both of them have exact same string and exact same cases. Whereas s3 is equal, but it does not, like, the cases are not matching. So in that situation, it will fail. But on other hand, I have got something called as s3 dot equals ignore case. There is a special function which is given. What does it do? Checks for exact same thing, same string, excluding the cases. So in this situation, the other output is going to be false now. Sorry, the other output is going to be the true. Yeah. Yeah. Can you try this out quickly? Please let me know once you're done with this part. Are we done with this? Can we proceed? Okay. So the next part, what we need to check out here is for we are going to see trims and empty checks. Okay. We are going to check out for trims and empty checks. So now let's say string s6 is equal to mm, code with z with extra spaces. Now I will first check the see. Let me just put it first. So if I print s6 and after that let me print the length also s6 dot length. Then I do what? See, I have given the extra spaces out here, right? If you see, I have given a lot of extra spaces in the end. So what will it do is this spaces one, two, three, four. Four spaces it will actually get rid of. What if I do s6 is equal to s6 dot trim. Okay, and then I do what? System.out.println S6. You might not see a big difference in the output, but you will be able to see the difference in S6 if I print it again. Yeah. This minus symbol, I'll get rid of it. And now you can see here there were extra spaces. So earlier, okay, I will print dot length, so that way we'll get how much length was deleted. See, earlier it was 15. Now see, if we got rid of 4 other spaces at the same time, see, if I say string s7 is equal to blank string, okay, and then I do system.out.println is empty check, is s6 empty. So I will respond this with what? S6 dot, there is a function called as is empty, and then I have got s7, and I will change the object of this from s6 to s7, and you will see is s6 empty, false, but is s7 empty, true. Yeah, so this is the new thing we have added into our code. I have added the trims and empty checks onto my code share. Can you check this out? Let me know once you're done with this. Huh? Yes, we are done. Can we proceed? Are we following till this point, everyone? Are you understanding what different type of strings we are working out, different functions we are checking out? This can be used, this will be used when we go ahead in the bigger implementations. So moving ahead, I go for indexing and caret. Yeah. We need to check for how many index, how they are. Okay. So here, what we do is I take a simple word, let's say string s8 is equal to standard. Now I want to find out, let's say, what is character at index 2. Now, if in that situation, first we need to understand how does this indexing works. If I have my word standard, so the index numbers they actually starts from 0. So it will be like what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6 and 7. Now if I ask you, find out what is the character at index 2. So what will we get? We should get a back. Yeah, that is what we are expecting. So let's say if I go back here and if I say char c2 is equal to s8 dot char at 2, char at index 2 is plus c2. And if you see char at index 2 is what? A. But what if I try to do the same thing but in a different order now? Uh, if I say C3 this time, if I say C3, now you tell me what will be the output. In this situation, what will be the output? You try to help me out. If I change the index to 20, is there any index 20 available here? Is there any index 20 available here? The last available index is what? 7, right? So I'm trying to access a character which is not available at that given index. What will happen in that situation now? What will happen in that situation is actually, let's see, why just check it here when we can check it out practically. See, we are actually getting something called as an exception. Exception handling is something we'll be doing tomorrow or mostly in the next session. So we are getting what? String index out of bound exception. Yeah, string index out of bound exception. Okay, so what exactly is happening here is we are taking up this exception and it is giving us an error. So I will block it for now. I will comment off this code because this is throwing an exception. Same way, we can find out which character is at which index. Yeah, which character is at which index. So I want to find out where the D is. Okay. So for that reason, I will say int I1 is equal to s8 dot index of. What is that I'm finding here? I'm finding D. If I say system.out.println index of D is what? I1. Compile and run. So it says it is available at index 4. It is available at index 4. How many D are there in this standard? In this word standard, how many D are there? There are two, right? This is one, this is second. If I run it one more time, will I get the second one or will I get always the first one? I will keep on getting the first one itself, right? So what I want to do now is I want to add, like I want to find the second index ka value, the D at the second index. How can I do that? Anyone help me out with that? Possible to do that? Yeah, possible to do that. See, when you want to find out the index for the second occurring character, what you need to do here is take the first character, find the index, and give the next index from it. So I need to actually start searching from 5. So what will I do is, let's say This is first I1, right? So if I want to find out, I will say what is the index of second one. So I'll say int I2 is equal to S8 dot index of D. But from where? Whatever was the last location, add plus one to that. So it will do what? It will find you the index of second D. And the index of second D is 7. Are you understanding this? What we have done here? Now, the last one in the index part. For example, int I3 is equal to S8 dot index of. Now you tell me, if I pass Z, is there any character Z in the word standard? Is there any character by the name Z, by the word Z in standard? So index of Z in the word standard is what? In this situation, see, like last time when I tried to find the character which was not available with the index, I got exception. What do I get here? If the keyword you're trying to search for in the string is not available, you get -1. So you need to remember this. It will return you a -1. Are we clear on this? Are we all clear on this, what we did here? So I will share this code with you. Can you please try it out? Are you all following along? Like, can you give me something in the chat window? Long time no message from anyone. Are you there following along? I have added the code. Please let me know. Thank you. So let me know once you're done with this part. Okay. So The next set of functions what we have done right now was this. Now we have got uppercase, lowercase. So let's see that out. Upper and lower cases. See, cases play very important role. So for example, now string s9 is equal to, we have got Hinduja here this way, and string s10 is equal to Hinduja we have got in totally upper one case. Then I do what I want to convert that into. So initially, how it will look like. See, initially S9 was looking like S9, and S10 was looking like S10. No arguments there. Then I did what? I said S9 is equal to S9 dot to uppercase, and S10 is equal to S10 dot to lowercase to convert that, and then I print this afterwards. So earlier S9 was in lowercase, it became totally in uppercase. S10 was in uppercase, it became totally in uppercase. Yep. And another one, what we want to cover up here is about how do we replace and split. So for replace and split, for example, string S11 is equal to, let's say we have got JXVX. Instead of Java, I wrote JXVX. Now I want to replace. So what will I do? I will say system.out.println. Initially S11 was like this. Then I said S11 is equal to S11 dot replace, and I want to replace all. I want to replace all the X in my string to what? A. And if I print it again, see, initially it was JXVX, now it became Java. This is how you replace something if you have in your strings. So can we try this out, lowercase, uppercase? Okay, so this is your code for string. Yeah, at that point, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do that. I see more than 70-80% people who join in for the uh, live stream don't subscribe. It's your choice, but please do subscribe. It gives me motivation to make more content as well. Okay, if you have not subscribed, please do. Thank you. And so moving ahead, the last part in string functions is a very important one. Yeah, last part in string functions is a very important one, which is what we call as substring. Now, substring is the important one. So, you tell me there is a string, okay? There is a string which we call as hamburger, okay? Now, from this hamburger, if I want to take out, if I want to take out burger, what will be the, what will be the, see, first let us take the index. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is a function called as substring. Now substring works in two way. Either you give it one pointer, it from that point it will take till last. But there is also another one where you want something from between. So in that situation we have to give two different indexes. So first let's try the first one. If I want to take out from the hamburger, if I want to take out burger, I will say my string dot substring from this point. Okay, let's see, does that happen? Let's see if that happens. So here we have got substring. Inside my substring, what do I do? Say string x is equal to, let's say, hamburger. Now I want to take a substring out of it. What will I do? I will say string x1 is equal to x dot substring, and I will give my begin index as 3. So if I say system dot out dot println that my x was x and my x1 which was the substring thing, was what? See, it was hamburger, and when I did the code, it got out what burger. Understanding how do we cut a string from a string, but this was from one point till end. What if I have to give if I want to find out something in between? For example, here in the same hamburger, okay. Now here again, the index number starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want to take out the word urge. Okay, it's a valid English word, and I want to take out only this much part. So if I do 4, will it work now? Will I do 4? Will it work? Because if I give 4, it will give me from this U till R. Now what is the number I have to pass here? What is the number I will have to pass? 4, and I have to give start and end index, right? I have to give start index or beginning index and end index. So you tell me what will be the start index now? 4. What will be the end index? What should be the end index? 7. It should be 7, right? Yep. So if I do that, let's see what happens. So string x2 is equal to x dot substring. I have to give begin and end index. So I'll give what 4 and 7. So this way, and if I do system.out.println x2 plus x2. Okay. So what do I find here? Is it working correctly? I don't think this is working correctly, right? This is not at all working correctly. Yes. It should have given me that E. The problem here is, and this is not only for Java, it is for all the programming languages in the world. Whenever you try to pick up something from between, the start index will be considered on 0 based, but the end index is considered on 1 based. So there is actually one more index which runs, which is starting from 1. So it will be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And as per that logic, your start index always comes from 0 based, whereas your end index always comes from 1 based. So what you need to do is you need to pass 8 here, and it will give you the proper word. Yep. Understanding this? Now, have you understood this logic, everyone? The 0 based and 1 based index. So now if I give you a word, okay, if I give you a word here, okay. Now what I want to do is I will give you the 0 based index here. Okay. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 and 19. And one based index are looking like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Now I have certain words. I want you all to find out the indexes for me. First is nation. Second is national. Third is ion. Fourth is inter. Fifth is inter. Okay. Then I have got at, on. Ion is done. On is done. And Liz. Yeah. These are 8 words. Can you find the pointers? Can you find the start and stop index for me? Like, I have given you the 0 and 1 index in the chat window on the screen, and I have given the words. Can you just write the words and give me the start and stop index so that we can achieve the substring of those words? Are you trying to attempt this one? Like, okay, first one for nation. What will be the start index and what will be the end index for nation? Start index comes from 0 based, right? This is 0 based. This is 1 based. Yeah. What will be for nation? 0 based and 1 based. Anyone can help out? Okay, 5 to 11. See, for nation, the 0 based index is what? 5. Perfect. So, and it ends here. Yes, it will be 5 to 11. What will be for national? What will be for national? It will start from 5. Okay, it will start from 5 and it will go until 13. What will be for ion? What will be for ion? Starts at ion starts at For ion, it will be what? Starts at 8, ends at 11. Or if you see it in the end, if I only pass 17, it will still give me the last part, right? So that is also fine if I only pass 17. What will be for the word intern? What will be for the word intern? Starts at 0, right? Starts at 0, go on till 6. Yes. And for inter, it will be what? 0 to 5, right? It will be what? 0 to 5. Because this is just one last. Then for at, what will we use? For at, what will we use? It will be starting at 5. Sorry, starting at 6, ending at 8. Starts at 6, ends at 8. Can you find any one more here? One more combination of. For Liz, it will be what? 12 to 15. Am I audible now? Okay. So that is how we do the substrings. So you know how to do the substring now, right? You know how to work with the substring. I have not added it. I'll add it in the. Have I added this in the code share? Yeah. So I've added the substring. You know how to work with it. Now the very last part in string, what we need to cover up is something what we call a string buffer. Now string buffer is not a part of Java, but it gives us a see. String buffer is a utility class. Rather than because you see here a lot of things got updated quite quickly, so it's a let's say mutable sequence of characters. Yeah, string is like a string but can be modified, so we don't have to create every iteration will not create a new string. So how does that look like? It is also a part of my java.lang package. It is also a part of my java.lang package. So we have got string buffer. String buffer sb is equal to new string buffer. Okay, let's say string name is equal to John. Then I pass the name here. And now I want to append something. So I can say sb dot append ny. So it becomes John becomes John. Okay. And then if I want to convert it back to a string, so I can simply just say string See, if I print it here, system.out.println SB, and then I print SB again here. Let's see what happens after I append. You will see earlier it was John, then it became Johnny. But this is not in the string format. If I want to convert this bank into the string format, let's say appended name is equal to SB dot to string. This is the official way. How do you convert a string buffer object to this one, and printed it will get the same output. It's nothing apart from that. But see, so this is much more easier working with string buffer. It's normally approached like this is what we go for when we have to deal with string. Yeah, string buffer is a more better way of working. But obviously in our day-to-day life we don't use that. But in big projects we stick to string buffer. So I have added this particular part into the code window as well. Okay. So how do you go to my GitHub? You can check it from here directly. And so the string part has been added into the Git repo. I have given the Git repo link in the chat. Okay, you can check it out from there. And can you please, those who are there in the meeting, can you please just connect in this meeting so that I can track your attendance? Can you please join the Google Meet quickly so that I can track your attendance and then we can stop for today? Okay, then thank you everyone. Yeah, we'll connect for exception handling in the next session. Thank you.